Hello, everyone. A very warm welcome to all of you. Thank you for honoring us with your presence and attending this 2023 Mission Education 2.0 online summit, an international conference focused on digitizing education and skilling. This event is initiated and organized by Deetya, the education division of Trigyn. Trigyn Technologies is a multinational IT services and consulting company with a global presence with a team of more than 2,300 plus members who are deployed across 25 plus countries in North America, Europe, Africa, and Asia continents on various projects. Our services are spread across healthcare, IT consulting, smart cities and IoT, data science, and systems integration, in addition to our strong reach in the education sector, both in India as well as in other countries. With over 15 years of experience in the education field, Trigyn's digital learning vertical developed its own products, Deetya and Teach Pro Plus. The team also has extensive experience in content creation. We are experienced in transforming simple page turner courses into complex scenario based learning. We have also designed and developed mobile and adaptive learning solutions and AR and VR learning components. We work on different types of development projects. Some of our recent wins include AICTE, One Nation, One Data, and Diksha. Let's talk a little bit about these key wins. Digital Infrastructure for Knowledge Sharing, or Diksha, is a national platform for school education, an initiative of the NSERT. Diksha has been adopted by almost all the states and union territories, central autonomous bodies, boards, including CBSE. Diksha can be accessed by learners and teachers across the country and currently supports 30 plus Indian languages. Our scope of work includes application and platform design and development. AICTE One Nation, One Data, on the other hand, is an online platform wherein all institutions regulated by AICTE will upload their data on students, faculty, infrastructure, land, facilities, etc. This data will be used by different government agencies for different purposes, like NERF can use the data for rankings, NAC can use it for accreditation, AICTE you can use it for granting approvals, etc. As a reminder for all attending this online summit, Mission Education is a global conclave organized by Deetya, which unites education leaders, policymakers, experts, leading academicians, government agencies, corporate leaders, and industry practitioners from around the globe to achieve the shared objective of making quality and skill driven education accessible and equitable to every child in the world using technology as an enabler. Our key objectives are to bring together educational leaders, experts, industrialists, and government agencies, regulatory and accreditation bodies to discuss the most crucial and impactful elements of education in India and the world today, to identify, design, and analyze the role of technology in various disciplines, to discuss the problems and challenges in global education, and share the best practices and solutions to increase the impact of education. And lastly, to understand several educational initiatives and development across various segments and disciplines for integrated implementation of policies and learning. Mission Education 2.0 Online Summit is spread across 2 days. Day 1 will be focused on reimagining education, redefining and redesigning K through 12 learning products, and offering university education in the mother tongue. Probably a game changer for global literacy. Day 2 will emphasize the relationship and collaboration between quality and quantity in education, the global necessity for skilling and the role of technology in the same, and strategies to align medical and law education with today's digital world. I will now take a couple of minutes to introduce our esteemed and respected panel of speakers. To begin with, Dr. Chintan Vaishnav, who is a Mission Director for Atal Innovation Mission, Niti Aayog, Professor S.S. Gokhale, Chairperson, Board of Governors for National Institute of Technology, Durgapur, Dr. S.S. Mantha, CEO of the Mahapreet Startup Knowledge Center, former Chairman, AICTE, Dr. Shailesh Shirali, Director of Sahyadri School, Pune, Dr. Jayashree Pariwal, Chairperson of JPI School, Jaipur, Dr. C.S. Shivananda, Principal for DPS SDS School, Dhaka, Ms. Swati Dave, CEO of the Institute of the Advancement of Vedic Mathematics in USA, Professor Mahesh Chandra Govil, Director of the National Institute of Technology in Sikkim, Dr. Vinita S. Sahai, Director of Indian Institute of Management in Bodh Gaya, Dr. Shamishta Samantha, who is a Vice Chancellor of Kalinga University of Industrial Technology, deemed to be university, Dr. Anil Saharasbudhe, who is a Chairman of the National Board of Accreditation and also Chairperson of the National Education Technology Forum, Professor K.K. Agarwal, former Chairperson of the National Board of Accreditation, Ms. Amy Memon, Regional Head, South Asia Association to Advanced Collegiate Schools of Business, Dr. Ashwini Sharma, Director General of Vivekananda Institute of Professional Studies, excuse me, Dr. Raj Nehru, Vice Chancellor of Shri Vishwakarma Skill University, Gurugram, Mr. Varghese Mundamatam, Chairman and ED of Isbat University, Uganda, Professor Dr. Poonam Saxena, Vice Chancellor of the National Law of University in Jodhpur, Dr. Kuldeep Singh, who is the Dean of the All India Institute of Medical Science in Jodhpur, and Dr. Avinash Dajish, who is the Director of the Manipal Law School, Manipal Academy of Higher Education. I would also like to introduce Professor Puneet Sharma, who is a technical education expert and anchor at Doordarshan National. This entire event would be moderated by Professor Puneet Sharma. That concludes our round of introductions. Now, before we start with our sessions, we will have our traditional auspicious lamp ceremony as a tribute to Mother Saraswati, the goddess of knowledge. I will now request Shamiksha to light the lamp and recite the Saraswati Vandana, followed by the welcome song. Over to you, Shamiksha.
Yeah, thank you, Rashida. Namaskar. I will start with Saraswati Vandana. Ya kundendu tushar dhavala Ya shubhra vastranvrutan Ya veedanvar dandamanditakara Ya shveta padmasana Ya brahmanjuta shankara prakrutibhir devai sada vandita Saman patu saraswati bhagavati Nishesha jathyapaha. Allow me a moment to start with welcome song. स्वागतं शुभ स्वागतं अथ स्वागतं शुभ स्वागतं स्वागतं शुभ स्वागतं अथ स्वागतं शुभ स्वागतं आनन्दमङ्गलमङ्गलम् आनन्दमङ्गलमङ्गलं नितप्रियं भारत भारतं स्वागतं शुभ स्वागतम् अथ स्वागतं शुभ स्वागतम् नित्यनिरन्तरता नवता मानवता समता ममता नित्यनिरन्तरता नवता मानवता समता ममता सारथी साथ मनोरथ का जो अनिवार्य नहीं थमता सारथी साथ मनोरथ का जो अनिवार्य नहीं थमता संकल्प अभिनीत अभिमतं संकल्प अभिनीत अभिमतं आनन्दमङ्गलमङ्गलम् आनन्दमङ्गलमङ्गलं नितप्रियं भारत भारतं स्वागतं शुभ स्वागतम् अथ स्वागतं शुभ स्वागतं स्वागतं शुभ स्वागतम् अथ स्वागतं शुभ स्वागतं स्वागतं शुभ स्वागतं स्वागतं शुभ स्वागतम्
Thank you, Samiksha. That was beautiful, and you have a very euphonious voice.
Thank you.
All right, so let's move on. It is now my honor to introduce our global CEO of Trigyn, Mr. Dilip Hanumara. Under Dilip's leadership over the last 3 years, Trigyn has transformed into a digital and cloud powerhouse, delivering COVID to the country and acquiring wins in education, including One Nation and One Data, and the Deetya platform. Dilip strongly believes that the adoption of people-centric digital technologies will enable the education of the masses, leveling the playing field across different sections of society and providing easy access to lifelong learning. May I now request you, Mr. Dilip, to address the gathering.
Thank you, Rashida. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome, Punitji. Thank you, Samiksha, for wonderful prayers and the welcome song. It is my pleasure to be in front of you today, launching the Virtual Summit 2023 Mission Education 2.0, an international conference on digitalizing education and skilling. We welcome all the distinguished speakers and the panelists across 2 days. The panelists and the speakers today are from policymakers, enabling government agencies, academics, corporate leaders, and practitioners from both academia and industry from around the globe. For some of you, it's a welcome back. Thank you for being here. To provide the context for the others, this is our second year of our Mission Education Summit. We launched Mission Education 1.0 in October 2021, about 15 months ago. It was inaugurated by the then AICTE chairman, Dr. Anil Sastrebudde. In that session, we brought together an international panel of industry leaders, policymakers, entrepreneurs, including leaders like Dr. Kasturi Ranjan, chairman of drafting committee of NEP 2020 and the former chairman of ISRO. The panelists discussed what NEP 2020 mean for the country and for the world. They also opined on the continuing impact that digital technologies have post-COVID. During the Mission 1.0, our own education platform, Trigyn's own education platform, Deetya, was launched to the world. Let's take a quick look and get introduced to Deetya. I hope you can all see my screen. So Deetya is Trigyn's digital learning platform for digital learning solutions. Deetya platform is reimagined for education and for lifelong learning under 6 main frameworks. First is engagement. Engagement of the students and engagement of the learners at any age in a whole new way, providing a personalized AI-driven multi-platform learning and moving away from the typical mode of one mode of education. Engaging learners, not just students, learners of any age, outside of the classroom and the medium of instruction to make it a 24/7, 365-day engagement. Second is evolve. As with the trends in education, technologies are also evolving rapidly. How do you engage the learners, the stakeholders, the teachers, and everyone throughout the day? With Deetya, you'll be able to stay up to date, ensuring student success, as well as adopting some of the latest technologies. When you consider the demographics of India and across the globe, different modes of people learn in a different way. The technologies evolve every day. Today, gamification is a big trend. Tomorrow, it could be simulations. It could be augmented virtual reality. All of these will be incorporated into Deetya as the technologies evolve and become mainstream. The third is the automation and the interoperability. Breaking away from the silos and disjointed processes within your academic institutions. We bring in global standards to ensure data interoperability across systems. This ensures data integrity, enabling you to focus on the education and taking away your time on the mundane tasks. Interoperability is an extremely key aspect when the different systems that generate the data and bringing them all together. And Deetya does that today. Create and protect is the fourth pillar. Faculty are institutions' greatest asset, and the success of any student depend on the teachers. Using the Deetya platform to protect the intellectual property and to provide superior delivery of content is done through Deetya. And the fifth is the nurture. Assurance of learning is the process towards continuous improvement of a program and learning itself. This helps the teachers, the parents, the different stakeholders, the coaches, who are committed to ensuring the success of the students and the learners to focus and to nurture the learner who is struggling. Culturally, today, and in the past, we focused on the learners who are doing well. but they're not the ones who need a lot more focus. The ones who are struggling are the ones who needs a lot more focus. Deetya's AI-enabled platform will enable you to do that. Last but not the least are the insights for all the different stakeholders, including the learners. The personalized experience by bringing all the data from disparate systems together and creating insight is done in Deetya today. The crux of Deetya is on the 2-3-5 framework, the two pillars of personalized learning of people of any age, and in an academic setting of administration of that learning. The 3 covers the 3 scenarios: learn, personalized learning, help learning, and manage learning. Across the 5 key persona are the key stakeholders. The student or the learner, the parent, the teacher, the administrator, and of course, the enabling regulator. Deetya's digital learning solutions can primarily be divided into 4 main buckets. The first is the integrated digital school or a university platform. The second is the educator's learning platform. The third is our digital services. The fourth are the skilling and lifelong learning platform. Let's look at each of those quickly. Deetya's integrated digital school and university platform combines the learning platform as well as the ERP and other modules that are today available in multiple different platforms. We can take a school or a university and completely digitalize it in about 4 to 6 months, irrespective of the number of the students they have today. That's what we bring to the table. The second is our Teach Pro Plus platform. This is the educator's learning platform. Our outcomes to improve the learning of the students and the learners will go waste if the teachers don't adapt the latest technologies and the latest methodologies. The Teach Pro Plus is Trigyn's and Deetya's answer to educating the teachers, teaching the teachers on the latest technologies as well as the trends in education. As some of you might have recently seen, an open AI platform called ChatGPT was introduced. A lot of students use it today to do their assignments. How do you educate the teachers on these technologies which have come in after 40, 50 years of their life? That's what Teach Pro Plus does, always keeping the teachers ahead of the students. And then our digital services. We've offered several custom digital services, including our custom content development that's led by Rashida, whom you've seen earlier. And then our smart classroom solutions. We can take any physical classroom and convert it to a virtual and smart classrooms. In India, we've done this in a state as well as in Banaras Hindu University. Classroom in a tab. We bring our platform to a mobile phone or a tab where you can download the application, you can download the app and start the learning. And then the managed services of the entire infrastructure, the platform, and the content. We offer these services across the globe. And last but not the least is the skilling and the personalized learning platform for people of all ages. We design personalized learning paths for each of the learners based on their outcomes. It's a collaborative and social and cooperative learning functionalities that enable groups of people to come together and learn. It has a very modern user experience platform with lots of learning analytics and forecasting at individual levels. We welcome all of you to try it out. Since Deetya was launched about 15 months ago, we've had quite successes in India and abroad. To focus a few of those in India, Deetya's learning platform has been launched at Banasthali Vidyapeeth. Banasthali is the Asia's largest women's university. For those of you who are not familiar with Banasthali Vidyapeeth, you should definitely take a look. They provide education. It's an all-women's school and a university in about 800 acres in Tonk district in Rajasthan. They provide from 6th grade all the way to the PhD. The alumni of Banasthali sit in the assembly halls of different states, as well as fly the planes across the country. Please check that out. As Rashida talked about earlier, we were successfully able to win the One Nation, One Data platform from AICTE. As the AICTE chairman announced this week that this platform is going to be launched for all states to submit and all technical universities to submit the data to provide the transparency sometime in February, in about a month. We've also won the NCERT school platform, Diksha. And Diksha is one of those that the government of India is looking to provide to all the developing nations across the world. We've also taken physical classrooms, 183 of those in the Orissa state, and converted them into computer labs. These are some of the few successes. There were several others, including content creation for several agencies across the globe. Now, coming back to 2023 Mission Education 2.0, the whole purpose of Mission Education is to bring the latest and the greatest on the trends of technology, on the policies, on the vision of the agencies to the academia, combined with the experts, both practitioners from the academic institutions, from academia, as well as industry. Bringing all of that together is Mission Education. We focus on building this ecosystem to achieve the shared objective of making quality, skill-driven education accessible and equitable to every child in the world using technology as an enabler. So the Mission Education 2.0 is across 2 days, today and tomorrow. This afternoon, we have 3 sessions. The first of them is reimagining education, getting ready for the rapidly changing digital world. The global education ecosystem, as we are aware, is undergoing a major transformation, with the pandemic as a catalyst, demonstrating the inevitability of the use of technology in education. If you focus specifically in India, the rolling out of National Education Policy 2020, the launch of National Digital Education Architecture, and several other endeavors by the Ministry of Education are indicators of systematized action plan. And now you couple that with Indian demographics and the usage of smartphones across the country and the data consumption. Today, it is estimated that more than 600 million Indians use a smartphone. That's expected to reach over 1 billion by 2030. It is also said that there's about majority of the smartphone users consume about 20 gigabytes of data. It takes only a small fraction of it to educate the masses of the country. So stay engaged for that conversation on reimagining education with all the different policy changes and the technology trends that are evolving in India and the globe. The second session after is redefining and redesigning the K-12, the technology-led transformation of school education. Kids at an early age are like sponges. They grasp and digest everything that is in front of them. Developing learning habits early on will go a long way in paying rewards in later parts of their life. When I first moved to US in 22 years ago, the one thing that really stood out and impressed me more than anything else is the availability of public library system to every parts of the society. The books in these libraries are accessed by the most needed. They had buses that takes the books to the people who cannot travel to the libraries. Today, you don't need all that infrastructure. All of the content in these books is available online. If we are able to create smart policies at the local panchayat levels, these books, these library content can be made access to the youngest parts of the society in their homes. As we redefine and redesign the K-12 education, some core fundamentals like problem solving and improving the analytical capability need to be embedded early on. A key aspect of that is integrated thinking, what is also known as systems thinking. If you take everything that is around us, whether it is nature created or human created, everything is integration of several systems. If you take a human body by itself, it's a biological system that works on chemical systems, chemical reactions that energizes, that is designed to work well in this natural system of the earth with these physics and with these laws of physics. So it's an integration of several different systems. So systems thinking along with problem solving and analytical capabilities should be introduced early on in the K-12 education. Stay tuned for that discussion on redefining and redesigning K-12. The last session today is university education in a mother tongue. This is close to a lot of different people, not just in India, but across the globe, especially for non-English speakers. Statistics say that about 4% of entire student population learns in English. But the problem today is college education. For college education, there are hardly any books in regional languages. But luckily, today, technology can enable both sides of the equation. On one side, technology can help translate these books from English into regional languages at a much faster pace than it's ever been done before. On the other side, for people, all the people across the world who who does their university education in their mother tongue, they can confidently converse in English or the local languages of that nation of wherever they are using technology. Technology today is enabling seamless translations. So stay tuned to that event on the university education in the mother tongue. Tomorrow we start the afternoon, the day 2. The first session is quality with quantity. One without the other is powerless in education. You can look at this from several perspectives. India, with its demographics, with its use of technology, with its spend on digitalization, and with the academic institutions, is an engine to the world. As we've seen during COVID, and which continues today, a prepared India is a prepared world. A prepared quality workforce in India is a prepared world's workforce. Couple of examples. Apple is shopping around to set up an alternative manufacturing locations to the iPhone City. For those of you who are not familiar with iPhone City, it's a city in southern China where majority of the iPhones today, about 70+% of the iPhones today were manufactured. iPhone City is a city by itself. More than 250,000 people reside in there. All of them work for manufacturing Apple devices. The facilities provide for living, education, health. It's a fully formed city. Apple is trying to replicate that in other parts of the world to diversify their risks. India is the only country that can provide those suitable alternatives, both in terms of quality with quantity. It's also a tremendous opportunity to uplift a big part of the section of the society in India itself. So it's an opportunity that we cannot miss. Stay tuned to that event tomorrow afternoon on quality with quantity. The second session tomorrow is skilling is a global necessity. Can technology make the world more skilled? Where we stand today, there is a shortage of quality workers across the world, especially in digital. Digital, IT, is a general purpose technology. The other general purpose technology, which you might actually know very well, is electricity. It is also said that when electricity was first discovered, for the first 50 years, it is only used for powering a light bulb. Today, you cannot imagine living or a device that does not consume electricity. Digital technologies and computation is still in a very nascent stage. We have not entered the second half of the chessboard where the exponential rewards come out. We won't even be able to expect what kind of technologies will come out. In the last few months, you've seen the emergence of AI from OpenAI, both on the image side with the release of DALL-E and on the chat side with ChatGPT. This AI technologies, with the increase of data and with the improvement in technologies and the algorithms, it will make tremendous progress. And this also provides a tremendous opportunity for skilling. I'll give you a simple example. ChatGPT today is used across the globe by the content writers, especially people with English as their second language, as English as not as their first language. The solution or the answer provided by ChatGPT provides a strong framework on which they modify and put in their own thoughts. There is no doubt today that a skill level training on ChatGPT will provide enough opportunities for the skilled workers across the globe. So stay tuned to that event on skilling is a global necessity. The last session tomorrow is the medical and law education. Are we ready for technology-driven world? For those of you who are following the advances in medical sciences, in biotechnology research, where personalized medicine is being designed, the opportunities there are thrilling. As the technology advances and as these technologies are used, as digital technologies are used to understand nature, to understand the human body at a nano level, at a cell level. The advances of CRISPR to modify the genes are just the tip of an iceberg. The digital technologies and the AI are accelerating the inventions in biotechnology and the advances in medicine. Similarly, if you shift to the other side, medicine is close to the nature to treat living beings. On the other side, law is designed by humans to ensure proper functioning of the societies. And as digital technologies evolve and the usage of these technologies, and as the societies evolve, law evolves as well. An interesting question here is, as the laws continue to evolve and as the technology advances, can these laws be codified? Log into this session on medical and law education and how the technology-driven world is impacting every parts of a society. We are really excited to have you all here for the digital Mission Education 2.0. We welcome you all for joining us on these sessions. And we welcome all our speakers and panelists for Deetya's 2023 Mission Education 2.0. Thank you.
Thank you, Dilip. That was quite thought-provoking. May I now request Professor Puneet Sharma to moderate the session, please. Over to you, Puneetji.
Thank you, Rashida. Thank you for the opportunity, and I welcome Dilipji. I mean, after 6-7 months, we are interacting again, and I have listened to you in Calcutta. I appreciate your deep-rooted approach towards development of technology. I mean, people-centric. It should be always people-centric, low cost, and it should be accessible to the last person on the bench. And especially when it comes to classroom, it is really meaningful to address the last bench student. So I would like to know that recently you have mentioned about ChatGPT as well. How the convergence of technology, education, and skilling can create a future-ready India.
Thank you, Puneetji. It's a pleasure interacting again. If you go back to watching movies, right? Like if you look at Star Wars and how some of these kids are trained in those academies, I don't think we're too far from that. It's spreading of the technology across the societies might take a little longer. The advances that we are seeing in AI today will make all this science fiction reality in our lifetime. As they say, as most of the things, it seems very incremental until it is sudden. And ChatGPT was that moment. ChatGPT was just one part of what we are seeing today. That AI is slowly, incrementally embedded pretty much in every aspects of what we are doing. Even as you write your email, you see a suggestion engine telling you what the next few words in that sentence could be. In the enterprise world, in your personal lives, with the use of these mobile phones, these technologies are introduced every day. The key is, how do you help this technology to penetrate for learners from early on, as well as for learners at any age. Unlike before, today, every few years, you need to upgrade your skills. That's the evolution of technology. So building those habits early on, when at the kids, at the pre-K, at the K level itself, will help a lot. And the key for us in India is, and the government is doing a tremendous job here in terms of bridging the digital divide, in terms of creating the smart and virtual classrooms, as well as providing some of the technologies, the tablets and the laptops at the school level itself. Obviously, the private schools, it's a very common place, but providing that across the country in the government schools, thanks to the government across the state governments and the central government for all their efforts that they're doing, will help bridge the digital gap and bring those technologies to different parts of the society early on. And as I said earlier, India, if you can do it at India scale, it gives confidence to the international agencies, to the international bodies, that this could be done across the globe. A prepared India is always a prepared world. To meet the demands in India, you need the world to gear up. But once India's demands are met, India can return that back to the world. So that's the power that we have in the demographics, in the population, and the technology that is driving today the digitalization efforts, both in the government and in the private and the public sector in India today.
Yeah, thank you. So scaling is the key to grow more and more. Recently, we have seen that 5G facility has been launched in India. So this quick digitalization, accessibility to education is definitely going to improve. Your take on emerging areas that will help students and educators in coming time?
Absolutely. Thank you for bringing this up, Punitji. It's already, I think the numbers already indicate that, the 600 million plus smartphone users, a big part of them consume about 20 plus gigabytes of data every day. That's a lot of data. In the Western part of the world, it costs a lot to actually get that type of data. It's, the tables have turned. The privilege of the data is in India today, not in the Western world. And 5G normalizes that. The first, I have to thank the government efforts in spreading connectivity to every part of the country and the efforts that they're making to lay that cable out and in the remote places, providing that wireless technology. So that's a game changer by itself. And as you've seen, that has attracted attention of global players today, not just private enterprises to make money in India, but also the international agencies as well as the developed governments are following what India is doing today. So a big thanks to the policymakers, the governments across, both the central and the state governments who are enabling to make this happen. This will pay dividends for the decades to come in the future. All this technology that's been put in place will not only help every part of the country understand what's happening across the globe, it puts all the information in their fingertips, especially educational content. For all of us in the schools or colleges, we'll have a favorite teacher who convinced us that the subject we never really liked was the best thing and became a favorite subject. So that's the the beauty of that individual teacher who's convinced us. That's the best of the teaching. And today with technology, that best of the teaching can be provided to every parts of the society, to every corner of the country, to every corner of the world. And the content providers today, there is a variety of them across the globe. So with 5G, what 5G will enable is give choice. And obviously there will be curators in different parts of the world, and especially in India, that will come in and curate and bring the qualified and the best methods of teaching in the forefront of the people. And we have not even touched the tip of an iceberg today. And this Mission Education 2.0, with our esteemed speakers and panelists and with the engagement of the audience, we like to bring all of this, their thoughtfulness, their experience, and what they see how the future is going to evolve to all of you. Thank you, Puneetji. I welcome all the speakers and the guests, and looking forward to hearing your thoughts, your ideas, and the evolution of technology and the evolution of technology in the education space, especially, and how it impacts learners of all ages. Thank you very much and welcome once again.
Thank you, Dilipji, for throwing insight of your industrial experience on education part.